Good day to you, Cam here for PhoneDog.com, and it's Monday, which means it's time for another one of my weekly rants about all things mobile. This week is the bane of our digital lives, the freemium apps which have invaded our app stores, whether it be on Android or iOS or any other platform. They have become a frustrating drain on my energy sources. Now let me get started first by saying that in-app purchases in and of themselves are actually really good, and they're fantastically useful. It used to be a great way of being able to trial an app, a free version of an app, and then you just pay to upgrade to a premium version. And then on iOS they were made use of in newsstands so that you could actually subscribe to various titles of magazines on your iPhone through your iPhone without having to go through a different site and sign up elsewhere. So actually in-app purchases are great and they can be fantastic, and there are other apps that use it really well. Apps like Paper by 53, a drawing app which lets you unlock set tools for drawing for a set fee, and it's kind of cool because I may just want a pencil or a paintbrush. I may not need any of the other tools, and so I don't have to pay a big price for the whole lot. What I can't stand is actually these days, if you look at the top grossing apps on the App Store, all of them are free, which means they are making a shed load of money off in-app purchases. And actually, I don't mind developers making money. They need to make money. If they didn't make money, they couldn't make apps, and we couldn't use them or play with them or whatever. They need to make money. That's not my problem. My problem is when they take advantage of the customer and actually leave you in a position where you almost can't resist but to spend your money on something ultimately fruitless. Let's go to the biggest culprits here straight off. We're talking about games like Candy Crush, and while in-app purchases are relatively small individual purchases, the way the game has made, it makes you want to carry on. It taps into that part of your human psyche where you kind of progress to a certain level, or you almost get somewhere and you almost complete and find a solution, only to find that you can't play anymore because you haven't got any jewels left or whatever stupid currency it uses. So in order to carry on, which you absolutely must do at this point because you were so close, you then need to purchase an in-app purchase of about $1 or $2. And if you get addicted to the game, which it is a very addictive game, and then you carry on and you keep adding these tokens and you keep spending money, and before you know it, you've spent dollars and dollars and dollars and dollars and dollars of your money on a game that was initially free. It just doesn't make any sense. You're paying for something that's nothing. And the same can be said of EA games. And this is kind of a sad story for me, because in the olden days of console and PC games, before iPhones and iPads existed, EA was one of those names that everyone knew. Electronic Arts is one of the biggest names in games making. So their reputation before in-app purchases and all this freemium stuff started was relatively good. And over the past few years they bought a lot of really talented and small games developers. The people who initially made Real Racing made a fantastic racing game. You'd spend quite a lot to download the game in the first place, but it was a fantastic game. And then EA took over and Real Racing 3 came out, and again it is a brilliant game, but it's been ruined by in-app purchases and all these extra options of adding mechanics and adding all this stuff. Real Racing 3 isn't my biggest problem because you don't need the in-app purchases to enhance the game so that it's at a level where it should be. You can play the game free, you can work your way up, you can make gold. Where I do have an issue is in other games where the core experience, or what you think should be the core experience, is only attainable if you buy something within the app using your real money. Games like FIFA 14, another one of EA's games where you can't even access manager mode, which is, to me, the only mode worth playing. So, do I believe that in-app purchases should go? Absolutely not. I think they're really useful. I just think that some developers need to stop being evil. They just need to stop. Let's just have a game where you don't have to have in-app purchases in order to carry on. That's just ridiculous. Let me pay for my game and leave me alone. These game developers are more evil than Skeletor, or Emperor Palpatine, or Care Bears. Now there's a reason why developers go with the premium or freemium version, where they give you the game for free and then offer you in-app purchases. Like I said, the top grossing apps in the App Store are all freemium games, and there was a statistic released recently where 76% of the US's revenue in the App Store comes from free games with in-app purchases. And that just tells you everything you need to know. More than 3/4 of the money generated by the App Store is generated through freemium in-app purchases. And top of the list is Candy Crush. Maybe this epidemic is kind of down to us. We complain and we grumble about the fact that somebody might want to charge us up front, so the only way to get us to use an app is to have it for free. But then us, the same people that grumble and complain about having to pay something up front, are quite happy to drop $100 on a virtual cartload of frosted pink donuts. Let me know in the comments if you are just as frustrated as me about freemium apps. Do they ruin the App Store? Do you think that everyone should have a limit on the number of in-app purchases one customer can buy before they're not allowed to use it anymore? Is that the solution? I'm at TIP_Cam on Twitter. If you have any questions or comments, you can get me on there. I normally respond fairly promptly. Ciao! Or they're even more eviler than the guys who make those corned beef tins where you have to kind of turn it and turn it and turn it and you forget to take the paper off and then you keep going all the way around the edge and you realise that the pin is no longer strong enough to break the tin because the paper's there making the coil too thick, and then you've ruined your corned beef.